Hi everybody, let's quickly do the review and get ready for the next trading day. Alright, so we have a breakdown here on 2.2 million contracts followed by 2 million contracts, then 1.8 million here. I don't know what this is, it's about 1.1 million. So we see that the down bars clearly have more selling pressure than the up bars. So I mean, this is just going to set up. Let's see where it goes, but I don't see any buying pressure yet. There is some wick action here, but I mean, where's the follow through? So it might just be holding. Oh, this is also really important. When it holds like this, this can be I mean, probably isn't, but generally, I'll explain. A lot of times on the pullbacks, right? If you see how the reaccumulation is done, maybe I have an example here. Oof. Anyway, I'll just draw it out. But typically, how reaccumulation many times is done like this: you have a thrust. Let's say you have a rally, then you have a pullback. On the pullback, there's a thrust that's down, then there's sideways movement, and then there's a thrust that's up. So down, thrust down, sideways, and then thrust up. What's happening between the thrust down and thrust up is a bunch of bars, little bars, and those little bars are, it's like reaccumulating or lack of supply or whatever. But the idea here is that's how reaccumulation is done, happens all the time. And anyway, so right here I have that thrust and a bunch of bars here. So I don't think it's going to thrust up and go, but that's always a possibility. You just have to be ready for it. So this was on 1.8 million, and this was just end of the year. So we'll just see where it goes. The key level here is 3704.25, and no sign of strength, nothing like that. All right, on crude, I'm surprised this thing popped up here. But the idea here is you had 350,000 contracts and 380,000 contracts and 390,000 contracts. There are 470,000 contracts. So clearly there's some effort right here which set up the pop. Now it went over here, broke out on 230,000 contracts, and then now it's 190,000 contracts. So, I mean, I don't really see anything extraordinary, although this is a thrust. This is a thrust, and probably, you know why? Because it's testing this breakout right here, which was a breakout above this area, this level. So that's 230,000 contracts got tested, and from that test emerged 190,000 contracts. So we'll see if it'll take out the high or not, or it's just going to hold and break back down. Again, you're in this area which has 350,000 contracts and 380,000 contracts. Not easy to take out. All right, so there's a lot of stops above this level, and we'll see there's probably some zones, etc. You know, you could take a look at the sell orders over here. They're gonna, they have to. The limit sell orders need to be taken out by the market orders, and I don't really see that much volume here. Although this is a thrust, and it is responding to the minor breakout. So we'll see if it has any follow through, if it up thrusts, and the reversal action will tip us off. All right, here you have 45,000 contracts on Bitcoin, followed by 29,000, and a pullback to test. I can't even read this, but it's basically nothing more than a test into the 45,000 contracts, after which we have 6,000 down, another 7,000 down, another 4,000 down, 6,000 probably covering at this low, and a whole bunch of sideways action, can't really tell. All right, now on the bonds, you have this breakout here, which is about 310,000 contracts, hold 18,000 contracts, and right here to this low. I was looking for this. I guess it finally tested. Why? Because you see this bar over here. So let's see. It pulled back and then broke out. So we'll see how it responds here, whether it reverses back up or not. But there is an increase in volume here, about 260,000 contracts. Let's see how this is handled. This went back to that level exactly where I was looking for it to go to. Anyway, so here you have a breakout, shit in the middle, and there's a thrust here. I can't really tell. If you see the volumes, I can't really read them because of end of year, but 19 to 2, that's not a good sign, right? And this stops here, and it can easily, like this breakout bar is what's holding this entire range. Question is, when will the sellers come and they break it down to spring these low, this low, this low? You know, you can easily do it. It's not that much movement down, right? Dollar, I have no clue, right? Because you have 300, you have 31,014 and 23,000. This picked up. This selling picked up. Folks, you need to look into the dollar or the euro or whatever, see what's going on, because this selling pressure has picked up. It was only 14, now it's 23. And all this in the middle, I have no idea, but there's more selling in this bar than all of these bars. So something's going on here. Definitely want to take a look at the lower time frame, see if there's reversals, trade opportunity to the downside for a breakdown. All right, easy take out this low, it's not too far away. If it takes it out, sellers jump in, you get your next leg down. All right, let's move on to the next charts. All right, so we'll just take a quick look at the Qs. On the Qs, 56 million shares and 33 million shares and 43 million covering, no thrust, nothing. It might pull back, but how far is it going to go? And there's weakness. I mean, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red bars, 1 green bar. Can you believe that? And 1, I don't know what this is, 2, 3. Now you have some, but there's no real volume there, so forget it. Next here is the Dow, 5.9 million shares, broken with a thrust and increasing volume. This is the breakdown. Market, and we tried to cover some, but there's some selling pressure already right here for 4.9 million shares, and now holding sideways. So I mean, maybe we can pop and test and then break, I don't know, but this is not, I mean, this is a bearish formation. Selling pressure in the background, buying pressure came in here, it had no follow through and tightened. So more tightening, more setup for the downside, you know, because this becomes cause. Over here on the SPY, you have, I don't know, what's this, like 100 million contracts, another 100 million contracts, then shit in the middle. So these two, I mean, they're not going to get above these two. They're just not. This thrust, this breakdown here, and I don't know. So again, here on the IWM, you clearly see 31 million shares, and this actually has some lack of supply, but I don't really consider this a lack of supply. I mean, it's just New Year volume, so that's why, you know, you don't want to get confused. End of month volume is very low, so it's not lack of supply. Anyway, so you have 31 million down, 32 million down, and 21 million, probably some covering right here with a thrust. End of year covering. We'll see how this gets handled, but I mean, clearly you can see this is not, there's no bullish action, and there's no evidence. I mean, take a look at the NYSE. Don't look at the NASDAQ, I did some something over there. But the NYSE, you can see that clearly 1,388 stocks down, then 1,480 stocks down. I mean, the selling pressure is to the downside, no question about it. And it's all red, 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 red. So there you go. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next. All right. From the sector perspective, you have lack of demand on the XLK, selling pressure. Simple as that. Relatively weak, as indicated by relative strength below. Same here on XLB, lack of demand, lack of demand, lack of demand break. Here on XLY, very weak. This is a wonderful market to look to short on any pullback. This, I think, is probably the weakest. I can't even make it a zero. So definitely should be in this. I think this is probably because of Tesla and Amazon. Anyway, all right. Healthcare is the strongest. You want to be careful. Right, you had lack of demand, some effort, and a break. So you after lack of demand, you need a break, and they get that break. So I mean, stops here, here, target them, bang. All right. Here you had your shortening of thrust, selling. Here, so XLE also weak. All right. XLI, lack of demand, break, blah, blah, blah. Here you have XLP, red, 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 red. After shortening of thrust, goes back to test, reversal bar. XLF, even a little bit more weak. So the markets that are relatively weak, XLK, XLF, but XLF is almost at zero, so mostly XLK, XLB. This one is a real good XLB. What the hell was XLB? I forgot. Building material. And then XLY. These three, XLK, B, and Y, you know, that's where the short opportunities are. For the bounces back up, it would definitely be healthcare. So your Moderna, for example. I guess this XLP as well right here, but I think this one would be healthcare. I think it's healthcare. Healthcare is where it's at. All right, so we're done with going through this. What are the key observations? Tag XLK, XLB, did I say XLB, XLY. These two, XLK and XLY. These two are the opportunities. So tech, and I think these are cyclicals. All right, next. All right, so we're just going to take a key look at the key leaders or key big tech here. So, yeah, big problem. Apple, weak, 10 and 16 over here, testing. All weakness. Amazon. So there's the breakdown. I don't know if we can bounce to 140, but that's the idea. So Apple, this would be a really nice upthrust here against this. There's a lot of stops here. After this breakdown with a 9, I think this is 90 million shares, and it didn't have follow through. So maybe it can come back up and upthrust and test. So Amazon also dead. Yeah, this is not going to Tesla. Look at this. Look at this. I don't even know what to say about this. There's resistance here. There's 21 million. On this, not 21 million, 210 million. So $210 million, then $160 million, then $180 million. Sheesh. There's resistance in here, resistance in here, resistance in here. So this is not going to make it. I mean, I don't know. Wow. All right. So Meta, let's see what's going on here. Also, just basing out sideways, can't really tell. But there is a level. That's that level that serves as the breakdown. And test it once, test it twice. See if it tests again. Google also all week. Nvidia actually broke on 60 million shares, and will probably test. I mean, it's a very clear opportunity to test. So, break. That's a pretty big break. You can clearly see the thrust down break. Right? Started from here. Break, break. So we'll see, you know, the pullback test. The entire market's weak. I mean, what else is there to say except for Meta, which is pulling back? But I mean, you can see that it's tightening near the resistance area. So nothing really here. Anyway, let's go to the next. All right. So we already marked the 140 level on Apple. I mean, that's a breakdown area. Not sure if it's. It wasn't even. Not even sure if it's going to get up there. I mean, I don't know. All right, but these are the weekly lows here that have been marked: 133.20 and 129.04. All right, we see that 99 million, I think, 99 million shares, 160 million shares, 80 million shares, 78 million shares, 69 million shares, and 85 million shares. All selling pressure. Some buying pressure, but not really, right? Now, what you want to do is take a look at that swing and see how it's reversing. You know, how this reversing action is occurring. All right, so the last 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, we'll take a look at how that occurred and then examine how that trend changes. This is this is like real Wyckoff here. So how to combine multi time frames and do the change of behavior and all that. So this the hell is this? Anyway, so market basically. All right, so I'm going to show one reversal, then another reversal, then a third reversal. All right. So this was the original reversal. This was a very clean opportunity on the long side. Why? Because as the market went down, you had a lack of supply over here on 83,000. No, it's not 83. I think 830,000. Yeah, 800. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not. All right, so you had a lack of supply followed by a rally here on 150. But this here is your change of behavior. Why? Biggest price action in 9, biggest volume in 15. Look at this. Down, 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 down. Lack of supply into a change of behavior. Pulled back, spring, bing, 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 and went right up to test a breakdown somewhere else. Again, lack of supply by itself doesn't mean anything. It may set up a rally that you could trade on the intraday basis, but you need a change of behavior out of lack of supply. Lack of supply, lack of demand don't mean shit. Especially if they're on the left-hand side of the range. They don't mean anything other than, okay, supply is a little tired right now, so there's going to be a bounce. That bounce can then be shorted and it'll continue down. If that bounce is a change of behavior though, then the entire trend can change on that particular time frame. Anyway, so you had lack of supply and it set up the bounce, but this bounce was no normal bounce. It was a change of behavior on this time frame, which set up this trend. Trend move higher to do a test on a higher time frame. After which, bingo, supply pressure came in to continue the downtrend. Right there. And that's what it did. Until what? Until it went down until you have again a lack of supply. You have heavy volume, then it dries up, and that set up the demand to come in right here. I don't know where my circle is at. There we go. So there's your change of behavior. So that typically occurs when you have a lack of supply or a lack of demand. On the left-hand side, you will get a bounce. And this is just the way markets work, right? So here you have 403, and then it's followed by 136. That's your shortening of thrust and your lack of supply, which leads to a bounce, but this is no ordinary bounce. What kind of bounce is this? A change of behavior. How do you know? Look at the price volume stats. What are they? The 31, biggest wave in 31 waves. Biggest volume in 49 waves. So obviously it's a change of behavior. Comes back where? Right here. What is it doing? It's testing, providing you what? An opportunity to go long. Where do you go long? You go long on the thrust. Where's the thrust? The thrust is right there. Where's your stop? Below the low. Where's your entry? On the close of the thrust. Bang. All right. And that is setting up the next thrust rallies, and we'll see how high this can go. All right. How do you know how high it's going to go? You don't, but you can estimate. Go over here. Oh, shit. There's barely anything. So this is from here. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5. 4, 5. It's not really that much, but cause here is against this area. It's not a lot of cause. Not a lot of cause at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's literally already spent. So it might go up to 133. If it builds a little bit more, it can. Yeah, I think this area right here is going to stuff it. So, I mean, you have a change of behavior on Apple. You have the pullback to test. You have the thrust set up the long. How far is it going to go? It's going to. There's not a lot of cause. There is some cause here, right, which is a good sign for the longs. So that can set up something, but right now, as you can see, against this area, there isn't really much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, if this is part of that longer base, that's a different story. Is this a spring against this low, against this weekly low? Because it dipped below the low and it went up. Maybe I show the weekly chart. You see the position that the weekly is in, right? It's here at 129. Look at this. What is this? It's springing that 129 area. And it's springing on a lower time frame, showing a change of behavior. So it's springing the weekly low, but it's in a downtrend. So that is setting up the pullback. That's my belief. Right? Because it tried to break down against the weekly low, but buyers stepped in. As you can see, look at this clear print, 31.49. Means what? As it went below the weekly low, buyers said, no, not yet. Someone bought the attempted breakdown of the weekly low and pulled back test, and now is ready to go up. All right, so we're in a bullish position for the time being in Apple. All right, but I can't really guesstimate how high it's going to go. It might have one bar, it can have more, because the cause here, I don't really see that much cause. So let's see. It's just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You might hit that 133 level, right? You might, because from the low, the cause is already spent. But from the line of accumulation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it can hit 133. 133. It can hit 133 from the line of accumulation, not from the extreme low. All right, so it is in a bullish position, and it can go to that 133, that weekly low. That weekly low was 134, so you can definitely right here. See that? You can definitely go here and test, then puke. All right. So right now, for the time being, bullish position, but I don't know how much longer. All right, let's move on to. Let me take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA also in a bullish position. Again, when I say bullish position, I'm not saying it's bullish. I'm saying it's a bear pullback. All right. So, you know, when you have a rally and a pullback, this is a rally down with a pullback. That pullback is bullish short term, but the entire market is bearish. It's just pulling back. All right. So same thing here. We had some buying pressure here that set up the little doji, nothing special. And then the buyers came in here, and no selling pressure. Look, from here on, here, look at this. You see any red? After this, where's the red? No red, no red, no red, no red. White, 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 right? So what does that mean? That means that demand is still there, and it can probably test. So let's push it up a little bit. This area, I want to see the liquidity here. See this breakdown? This red bar breakdown? So very likely going to test that. Right into this area where you have a, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's going to go into that and probably reject. So that's your change of behavior. Right there. And what's nice is usually the markets, they move together. So if you're not sure, oh, is this change of behavior or not, just look at another 2-3 markets. Like after you look at Apple, you know this is a change of behavior in NVIDIA, right? It's a piece of cake. You know, you're not confused over here. Did Apple give you a change of behavior here? No. Did it give you a change of behavior? Yes. Oh, that's 2 markets confirming. All right. So this is the thrust. It's going up. You should take this out and test, and then we'll see how it turns. All right. So that's the second market, and now let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla, someone was covering over here. First of all, do you see this big price volume thrust? That should have warned you. All right, you have a climax right here, biggest volume in 49 waves. Then biggest volume again on 49 up waves, telling you there's probably some short covering. Pull back, boom. So yeah, I want to be careful with this thing. So this is all a pullback, a bear pullback, even though it's bullish, because it's going up, that's what a bear pullback does, right? It's going up. Right, there's a COB right there. Low volume pullback, and your confirmation bar. Now it's making the higher low, and we'll see if it breaks through here, if it can break out above here, or will it, will it get stuffed and just continue down? Right now, not all the three markets I'm not interested in shorting them because the pullback needs to turn back down, otherwise you're going to get stopped out. You don't know when the pullback is going to stop and the selling is going to resume. When it resumes, you'll see these prints on the downside. You'll see the selling pressure on the downside, giving you a clear opportunity. There is one thing though. If you take a look at the highs, right? You see here, 1,077. How much volume is here? 856. So 1,077, 856, right? Now look at this. What is that? 229, right? So what is that saying? The force of the buying is weakening. The force of the buying is weakening, but only thing is, it's again, year-end volume is a little tricky. See, because I can't rely on this because the wave right after it has 327 volumes. You can see over here. So I can't rely on this yet. Just need to see few more days of action, and the market will give its hand. All right, so done with all of this. Now let's look at the areas where there are going to be trading opportunities. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of volume here and here on Tesla, so can't really. I mean, is it climactic volume or is it selling pressure into this zone over here? I mean, I don't know. But there's big prints, so I think we just back off of Tesla, and let's take a look at Apple. It already tagged it and gave the reversal trade already. I can't tell. It's just too choppy. Maybe over here. What the hell is this? This possibly. But just wait. Just wait. I can't really tell. It's weird. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Problem is they all had a rally year end, so they're all bullish and I can't get the bearish. So actually, if it pulls back here, it can reverse back up. So the level here, you see the volume here, and there's volume here as well. If it pulls back here, it can actually bounce up. Let me see from a bullish perspective. Let's take a look at Tesla. Can't tell. Can't tell. What about Apple? There's no volume here for there to be a bounce. It's all because of end of year. So basically, you just have to back off. You just have to back off. There's nothing. There's nothing. And we know that markets right now are in a rally mode, which is part of the pullback, a bear pullback, and we want to see them reverse back down to establish shorts. And that's all, folks. Take care. Bye.